Welcome back, guys. Here with Rachel Keene over at Wake Forest. Thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to kick things off.
Yeah, we're actually here at the Wake Forest practice facility, which is awesome. Right in the middle of campus, and it's huge. How lucky are you to practice here every day?
Oh, it's incredible. We everyone says that it's just a pitching wedge away from our freshman dorm, which is very true. Lived like 150 yards that way.
It's a big pitching wedge.
Maybe not quite a pitching wedge, but it's incredible. We're so lucky to have these facilities, and like you said, it's on campus is even cooler.
Yeah. We just finished up playing 9 at Old Town. Broomy, how's it going? You weren't able to come out up at Louisville.
Yeah, we're in season up here, unfortunately, but sounds like you guys had a fun time.
We did. Played 9 at Old Town. Course is insane. How often do you get to play there?
We can kind of go out and play whenever we want. Normally on the weekends we play, but it's such a great course. They're so good to us there. Yeah, we're so lucky. It's 200 yards that way too, which is great.
Yeah. Maybe like a 4-iron, 5-iron over that one. Yeah, match was good. Decent amount of trash talk. Not as much as I honestly expect. Maybe it wasn't close enough for that.
No, I feel like we haven't established that relationship yet for me to start trash talking.
Okay,
Maybe you'll have to come back and then I'll get into it.
Back 9.
Yeah.
It also just wasn't. I was 1 up through 1. I don't want to spoil we don't want to spoil too much for them. They'll see the video, but I don't know. Any other thoughts on the match?
I putted well, so it kind of I got on a roll,
well.
and then at that point, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, there's like a 50-footer in there, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, we're out here at the Wake facilities with Rachel. If y'all don't know Rachel already, she's a junior over here at Wake Forest who's attained a lot of success at Wake. She's already won 4 collegiate events in her short college career, including just 2 just this year, not just 2. That's quite a few. Your high school career was equally, very impressive with several large amateur tournament wins, being a 3-time state champion and playing some pretty competitive tennis on the side, which we can get into. But you really burst onto the scene since joining Wake, and we got into that, talked about that while we were playing. You've won a lot here. You've played in a lot of top amateur events, from clinching the U.S. victory at the Curtis Cup last summer to a top finish at the ANWA at Augusta just last week, which that's got to be crazy watching the Masters. Don't know when this video is going to come out, but it's Friday at the Masters right now. So yeah, you were out there just 6 days ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, now you're the 8th ranked amateur golfer in the world. So yeah, thanks so much for coming on, and can't wait to dive more into your golf game and life off the course.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. So thank you for having me. And this morning was fun, and I'm sure this conversation will be fun too.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think we kind of want to take it back to the earlier part of your life. We'll obviously just list off a pretty impressive pedigree there of accomplishments on the golf course. What were kind of your early days as an athlete like, and what ultimately led you to choose to play golf?
Yeah, so I played everything growing up. I have 2 brothers, and my family's very competitive. So ever since we were really little, Mom and Dad put us in every sport you could possibly imagine. And golf was actually never one of my favorite sports. Golf was way down on the list. Yeah, and anyways, I kind of, as I got older, started to slowly, soccer dropped off, and then baseball dropped off, and next thing I know, I was playing just golf, basketball, and tennis.
Yeah.
And I kind of got to high school and didn't really want to hurt myself, so I quit basketball and just stayed with golf and tennis. And I think it was after freshman year, after sophomore year, Mom was like, okay, well, if you want to play one in college, you probably have to pick one.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of tears shed over this decision.
Yeah.
I was devastated.
Did you know you wanted to play something in college?
I think so, yeah.
Okay,
so my options were play golf and competitively and hopefully in college, play tennis hopefully in college, or play both through high school and probably not continue in college. And anyways, I figured that golf would have more chance of success because there's a lot more opportunity for girls golf.
Yeah.
And I picked golf, and I played tennis too. I played for my high school team and played in states and all that stuff. But golf was really my focus, and was lucky enough to play some high level junior tournaments and end up at Wake Forest. And yeah, really lucky. I feel lucky to be here.
Yeah. So your mom obviously has a pretty big golf history herself. She was here at Wake. She was an All-American, won 5 times, and played in 9 U.S. Opens, which is wild. So, what sort of influence did she have on you, just like athletically in general, and then also just within golf?
Yeah, I think we definitely learned a lot about our competitive mindset from her. She is still is the best competitor I know. It's incredible. She's
a lot
just
of trash
always
talk out of her.
Oh my God, I can't even tell you. All there is, as we're walking down the fairways as a family, she just chirps about everything. But no, definitely, she was kind of the one that introduced us to golf and showed us how to compete and how to win with grace, how to lose with grace, and all of this stuff. But just even outside of golf, my mom has become my best friend. She's just someone that I always feel I can bring anything to, and she's always going to give me advice. And I think as I've gotten older, it's become more of almost a peer relationship where we learn from each other, I think.
Yeah.
Whereas growing up, I was always learning from her. But it's been really cool to see that relationship develop, and I feel so lucky to have a mom that's been in my position as gets the things that I go through every day.
Yeah. In terms of golf, what do you think she's been able to help you with the most? Is it your swing? Is it the mental side?
We're all gonna miss the cut.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of the mental side. She doesn't know much about golf swing, so she can't help me with the technical part, but she helps me with course strategy and management, managing your emotions, stuff like that. That we play golf differently, so we're never gonna have she's never gonna be able to teach me how to have high shot chipping or anything like that.
Yeah.
But she can help me plot my way around a golf course and kind of help me figure out who I am as a player.
Yeah.
Is your it sounds like you said that your mom doesn't know much about the golf swing. She's a 9-time U.S. Open participant, so she must be decent. But we heard that what she said about you is your biggest advantage as a player is your mental game. Is that kind of something that seems like she had too, a very mentally strong player?
For sure. I think, I said she doesn't know much about the golf swing. Her golf swing is very good, but she doesn't teach it. She can do it, but she's not able to like tell you, oh, this position's wrong or whatever. But yeah, I definitely think what she said about like the strongest part of my game being my mental game, I think that's pretty true. Cause like, I'm a good ball striker and I'm a good putter, but like my advantage on the golf course is really how I play the game and how I take care of the ball and like I don't waste shots for the most part. And I definitely did learn that from her. She's a very smart individual and she's very smart on the golf course. And I was lucky to have a role model that like could teach me that part of the game.
Yeah. Did she also teach you some of the lipstick? What was the lipstick comment on one of the putts?
Oh, the trash talk. No, that one came from someone else, but there's a lot of trash talk. My favorite one is over when my dad is over a short putt. I'll look at him and be like, Dad, these putts aren't hard to make. They're just easy to miss. He hates it. It's so funny. It's great.
Yeah, I had one today. It was like it was like a downhill 20 footer for birdie, and I left it like a couple feet short. And what would you say?
I turned around and I said, "Hey, you dropped something," and you kind of looked down. I was like, "Yeah, it was your lipstick."
It took me a second to pick up on it.
It gets everyone the first time.
I think we kind of wanted to transition now to the Masters a little bit, and specifically you played in the Anwal last week, and for any listeners that might not know, that's one of the biggest amateur tournaments in women's golf right now. You played Augusta National just last week, and there's 20,000 some odd fans out there, so that must have been a pretty cool experience.
Oh my gosh, it was incredible. The first 2 days at Champions Retreat, that golf course is like so hard. The greens were like hitting onto this table, so firm. And so the first 2 days are kind of like a whole battle against like staying positive and staying patient and like knowing that like bogeys are going to come, but they're going to come for the entire field.
Yeah.
And then kind of once you make the cut, then you go out and you get on Augusta's grounds and just you just enjoy it. But it was incredible. I think the number I heard was 40,000
Really?
fans were out there, which is
That's
incredible.
insane.
At least that's what someone told me.
Did you feel that pressure? Or?
I don't know if it was pressure. It was just like cool because
Yeah.
obviously the guys and like the people on the LPGA tour, like they get to play in front of fans all the time. But
Yeah.
as a women's amateur golfer, like we don't get fans.
Yeah.
So it was just so cool to go out there and just like there was like almost like a buzz around the property.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got off to like a really good start, so like kind of set the tone and like it was
4 under through 7 is the really good start. That's
it
ridiculous.
was incredible. And just like walking the fairways and like hitting shots that like I've seen on TV over and over again.
Yeah.
Was like unbelievable.
Yeah.
I can't even put it into words.
Yeah, can you talk about that first tee shot? We talked about it earlier with Annika and a couple other very accomplished LPGA golfers.
Yep.
What was that like?
So I get on the first tee and I turn around and sat there's like Onyx Thornstam, Nancy Lopez, Condoleezza Rice, and I'm like, oh my god! Like I was so nervous, And they're all super nice. They came up and gave me a hug and like said good luck and all this stuff. And like I sent the first tee shot left into the trees. Like there was no chance it was ever going to hit the fairway. But no, it was like incredible. And what they've all done for the game and like the role models they provide all of like these female golfers is it's just incredible. Like, you know, hopefully someday I'll get the opportunity to give back like Annika has to the game. It's just, she's so inspiring.
Yeah. What's it like watching the Masters now after playing last week?
It's so cool. I'm sure the people that I sit and watch it with are so tired of me saying like, oh yeah, like I was here and like I hit the shot. I'm sure they're like so fed up. They're just like, Rachel, shut up.
Yeah.
But no, it's really cool. Walking the grounds is very different to seeing it on TV. The golf course, we talked about it today, is like it's so much hillier than it looks, and like the undulation on the greens is like the cameras don't do it any kind of justice.
Yeah, that's what everyone. Jensen told us that. Zach told us that. Keep hearing it, so it must be true.
Yeah.
Jackson, do you want to hop into the fact or fiction a little bit?
Yeah, I just want to ask you something real quick. You got off to that super hot start. Was it just kind of like you're almost like unconscious out there, and you realize you're 4 under through 7, or how did you get off to that such a hot start?
So I had a really, really great caddy. So I hit on 1, I got up and down. On 2, I get over this putt. It's maybe 15 feet, maybe not quite. And I look at this and I'm like, oh, like, is it going to break this much? And he's like, it's moving the other way, Rachel. I'm like, oh, okay. So he was like telling me where to hit these putts, and like I follow directions well. So I was like, okay, like I'll hit it there. And his reads were spot on every single time. So I was lucky to see a couple go in early and hit some good iron shots. But I think one of the coolest moments of the day was I was stood on the 5th green, and there's like a massive leaderboard like on the other side of the 6th tee, and like I saw them put my name up on the leaderboard, and it was like, oh my god, like it was so cool. But yeah, I think my caddy played like a major role in the round on Saturday.
Did he have a familiarity with the course out there, or was he just a...
Yeah, so he's a local caddy. He actually, I had a connection to him prior to the tournament. He caddied for me last year, and I had my assistant coach from school, Ryan, caddy for me the first 2 days, and then took Sean, who's a local caddy, on Friday and Saturday, and he knows the golf course like the back of his hand. His dad and his granddad have both caddied there. He's been there for years and years, so
that's cool.
He's incredible.
Yeah. You also you birdied the last 2 holes on, it was Friday, right?
Yeah.
At Champions Retreat to make the cut, and then you ended up finishing 7th, so what was that like?
It was one of those where the first 2 days at Champions Retreat, like I was playing good golf, but I hadn't seen many putts go in.
Yeah.
And I was staying super patient because, again, I knew the golf course was hard. So I get up on 17 and I looked at Ryan and I was like, all right, Ryan, like I got 2 holes and there's a scoreboard right next to the 17th tee. So I knew exactly where I stood. I was like, I need 2 birdies to like get in and not have to be in a playoff. He's like, well, let's do it then. Yeah. Hit a good iron shot, and like again, I hadn't seen one go in all day or the last 2 days, but I knew that I was due for a long one to go in because I'd seen the people I'd played with like been able to do it, and I was like, I can do this. Rolled one in and then put one up to about 7 feet on 18, and Ryan and I, not that we disagreed on the read, we just weren't sure which way it went, and ended up playing it straight, and luckily caught the low edge and went in. So yeah, it was very cool. It was confidence inducing going into Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, congrats. That's an awesome. That's such a cool week. I think now, Remy, you can hop us into the little Augusta Masters fact or fiction.
Yeah. So I just looked at the leaderboard actually, and Sungjae Im and Cameron Smith are on top. And in the 2020 Masters, those were the 2 guys that were behind Dustin. So it's pretty ironic, and Dustin's up there too. Sungjae Im is leading. Do you think he holds on for the win?
I think there's a lot of golf left to play. You are only a day and like 2 hours in, so obviously Sungjae Im's round yesterday was like great. It'll be interesting to see come Sunday. I think there's a lot of really good players on the leaderboard. I'd love to see him hold on. He's been in contention before. I think he finished 2nd. Was the year Tiger won maybe or something like that a couple of years ago. Yeah. So obviously plays well around there, but I also do think that there's a whole lot of golf left to play.
Yeah. Who do you have then? I know you had JT going into the week. I assume you're changing that a little bit, or?
JT had a rough first round. I don't know. I think it's one of those golf courses that, like, all the way down to the wire. You know, how many times we've seen Jordan hit it in the water on 12. We saw Sergio hit it in the water on 15. Like, there's just so much that can happen. Even the people leading on come Sunday morning aren't necessarily going to be the ones that win.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Jackson, who'd you have going into the week?
So our team did a little, like you pick 6 guys and the low 4 guys that you have, and you add it up. And on that, I had Victor Hovland win it.
Oh, there you go.
How's he doing?
He's around par, maybe even par. So
Yes,
that's
okay.
going on.
I don't know if you'll believe me now, but I said at dinner with my parents the other night that we each picked 3 people, and M and Cam Smith were 2 of my 3. I know it probably sounds like a lie right now, but I'm.
No, Cam Smith is hot. Did you see his round yesterday with the 2 doubles on the first and last?
400 with
that.
2 doubles is goodness. 8 birdies in between. It's incredible.
Is that tee shot on 18? We talked about this earlier, but is it as narrow as it looks on TV?
So we got to play it from like a little further up, so the shoot wasn't nearly as narrow. I can imagine from the back where the guys hit it, it probably is, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't really set up for my draw very well.
Yeah. Maybe my fade, which I apparently have
Your
in the bag
fade.
now.
It's reliable. You hit it great today.
Thank you. All right, second question. Fact or fiction? Amen Corner is as hard as it's cracked up to be.
Oh, fact.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And 11, they redone 11. So to the right of 11 now, instead of like being pretty flat, it like drops off. So you can't bail out. 12, it's not particularly long, but you have to be super protective to carry. I was in the front bunker twice, in the practice round and in the first round.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those where you get so scared of going long, but you also don't want to hit it in the creek. And there's just not much room to land it. And then 13's a gettable par 5, but it's tough.
Yeah. Do you think that's the hardest stretch on the course?
Yeah, I think when you get to 14 is tough, but yeah, 12. I think 12 is the hardest hole in the golf course.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, next question here. Augusta is the best or purest course you've ever played?
Oh, that's true, for sure.
Yeah.
It was just perfect. There was nothing out of place. The grass is perfect. The greens were amazing. I don't think it gets more pure than Augusta National. Like, anyway, I don't think you can play any course that's more pure.
Yeah. You know, Jensen, when we asked her this question, she was a little skeptical, right, Jackson?
What was her answer?
Yeah.
No, she was just like, I feel like every course is the same.
What? I'm going to respectfully disagree with her, and like, Augusta National was everything it's cracked up to be.
You are pretty good friends, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're really close.
You said 12 is the hardest hole. Like, going off Jackson's question, do you think it's also the prettiest or like best hole?
I think it's the prettiest hole. I also just feel like it's so iconic that the walk across Hogan Bridge, you get goosebumps. Like all the azaleas were blooming too, so it was like so pretty. Between that and 13, I really like 13. It's good par 5. It rewards you if you can shape it around.
Did you birdie 13?
Part it.
Okay.
Part it, but I saw Hannah. I played with Hannah Darling. Hit like an incredible second shot into there. She put it to like 8 feet, and I was like. I was shipping out of the trees and like it's okay.
All right, number 4, fact or fiction, the Masters, the best major.
I would say fact. I feel like it's, again, the most iconic. I also really enjoy watching the US Open, but getting to go back and like see Augusta now that I've played it and like all that, I think just makes the Masters just like a little bit cooler.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love watching the US Open too. Like nothing beats like Sunday US Open.
Yeah.
It's really cool too.
Yeah.
All right, we wanted to test your Masters knowledge just briefly here.
Good.
Fact or fiction, Jack Nicklaus has won the most green jackets.
Most green jackets?
Don't cheat and look at the answer.
No. I'm like purposely avoiding. I would say it's probably not true. He's won the most majors, but I don't necessarily know if it's the most Masters.
I would have to say you're wrong then. He has won 6 green jackets. He is the winningest.
Won 5.
I think Tiger's won. It could be 6 this week, huh?
Well,
Yeah.
so it's
That
true.
was cool.
It's true.
Oh, that's really awkward.
All right, another one, testing your Masters knowledge. Tiger Woods did not break 40 in his opening 9 in the 97 Masters when he went on to win by 12 shots.
You know how long ago that was? How am I supposed to know that?
I watched for yesterday, and I know you said you watched like the whole round yesterday, or the whole day yesterday, and they did say this a couple times.
My memory isn't that good. I feel like it's something Tiger would do to like go play like bad the first 9 and then just like still go out and win. So I'm gonna go with that's true.
All right, you're right.
Yeah.
1 for 2.
Very Tiger thing.
All right, sweet. So yeah, the ANWA and Augusta is something awesome that's happened lately. But obviously, you spend most of your time here at Wake.
Yeah.
So I want to transition into that And, obviously going back to the start of it, we talked about how you got into golf. But, can you talk about what the recruiting process was like and how you ended up choosing Wake?
Yeah, so once I kind of decided that golf was kind of going to be my sport, I started getting, a little more serious and playing, trying to get into like the higher level tournaments and all that stuff. And, I was lucky. I think as a freshman in high school, I had a couple coaches come watch me. And I was super nervous, but learned to love that. And then I actually, both my parents went to Wake. My mom played golf here. My dad played a very brief period of baseball here. It's an inside joke in front of our family that it's been exaggerated. He played for 1 semester and then he's been out to be made this all-star baseball player, which he wasn't.
5 years.
Yeah, I know. But so anyway, so I told my parents when I started getting serious about school, I was like, listen, I love Wake. I'm a Wake fan, but I'm never gonna go there. I was like, that was your school. I want to make my school, and it's not gonna be Wake Forest.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, whatever you want, as long as you're happy. And so then kind of the Wake coaches started to watch, and some other coaches started to watch, and the Wake coaches had asked my mom, been like, hey, we're interested. Can you at least have her come visit? And mom sat me down and was like, hey, out of respect for them watching you, you need to at least go visit. She's like, you're not going there. I know you're not going there, but just go visit. I was like, yeah, fine. So dad and I came and visited. I think it was Halloween of sophomore year. Mm-hmm. And I stepped on campus and completely fell in love with it.
Yeah.
Loved the coaches, loved the program. The campus is beautiful. And it's just everything I could hope for.
This doesn't hurt too.
No, my God, it's amazing. So I committed as a sophomore and then signed as a senior, and now I've been here 2.5 years and have 2.5 more.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you're staying for a 5th year then?
I am staying for a 5th year. I'm going to stay and get a master's.
I heard it here first.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know if it's first, but you heard it here.
So transitioning into your actually getting on campus at Wake, your freshman year, you missed the travel squad for your first event of the season.
Yeah.
But you didn't take too much time to get rolling because you won your next event. What was kind of that roller coaster of emotions like, and what was the difference between not making the lineup to then going out and beating an entire field?
So I think I kind of came in and qualifying is really hard because you're playing against your teammates who you want to see them go. You don't want to beat your teammates. That's never the goal. The goal is to see the people you care about, and the people you're that close with succeed. So qualifying for me was really hard. And so I came in I didn't qualify well my freshman year, that first tournament, and then I played the 5 that were traveling kind of went to the tournament, and I played an at-home qualifier and played well and got to go to the second tournament out in Minnesota. And
66 on the country greens. We talked about that.
We did talk about it today. And then, I kind of went out and I feel I'm able to get into a different mindset during tournaments. So I've historically never qualified super well and played better in tournaments. So, yeah, I went out and was lucky to string 3 rounds together and come out with a win, which was really cool. And, that golf course will always hold a special place in my heart, and I always look forward to going back there next year.
That's awesome. What were your expectations can't have been to win your first event? What did you think going into that event?
No, my expectations weren't to win. My expectations were to go out and just prove that I belonged on the scene in college golf. That I could make my lineup and I could go out and I could play well, and luckily
I think you did that.
Started with a bang, and it's been cool. I think that tournament has definitely meant a lot to me, and definitely gotten got my college career started. So it's been really cool.
Yeah. So that was your freshman year, and transition to this season. You've had a ton of success. You're currently on a short list for the Annika Award, and you've already won twice, including a school record in the second round of the Tar Heel Invite back in October, where you shot 63. We also talked about that round earlier. But can you touch on, what your expectations were as you've kind of progressed throughout college and then coming into this year?
Yeah, I think it was really hard after freshman year to kind of set expectations aside because, it got cut short with COVID and we didn't get to play that fall. So I was kind of nervous going into sophomore spring. My mom told me, she goes, relax. She's like, even if you don't do anything ever in college again, you still had a good time, just go enjoy it. So I've kind of tried to adapt that mindset through the rest of it. But I definitely think, kind of going out there and the goal every week is to go out and win and to get a team win. And I'm so lucky that I have such an amazing teammates that I get to travel with. And they're so supportive. We've had, multiple individuals win this year, but I definitely think the 63 at Tar Heel was so cool.
Yeah, what was that like?
It was incredible. It was one of those golf. Rarely do you have a round where like everything clicks. You're either like you're driving the ball bad, or your irons are bad,
Yeah.
or you're not getting up and down, or your short putts are bad. Whatever it is. But it was just one of those rounds that like everything seemed to click and go well. And when that happens, you just kind of ride it because
Yeah.
you just enjoy it. It doesn't happen very often. So that record actually got broken. We had one of the girls on our team from Spain went out first tournament of the spring and shot 62. So I'll correct you there, but no, we have such an incredible group of girls that it just makes traveling fun, and it just makes you enjoy the week a little more.
Yeah. Does Finley kind of hold a special place in your heart too after that, or?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm excited. Hopefully we get to go back there the next couple of years too, because I love Finley, and it's always nice to be in my home state. So
Yeah. Is that your low round ever?
competitive, yeah.
What about outside?
So I shot 61 from like the ladies' tees at my home golf course. I don't know if that counts because it was like a pitch and putt, but 63. I counted as 63.
You got around a course in 61. I mean,
Well, heck, I'll go play putt then if that's the case.
just out of curiosity, like watching you today, what was, you say it doesn't come together very often. What do you think was off today, if anything? I don't think anything was watching you.
My driver was great today. It was fine.
Your misses were playable.
My misses were playable. That's
Yeah.
true. I shouldn't complain about it. So, but yeah, I don't know. It wasn't like everything clicked, but I kind of managed.
Yeah. Jackson, do you want to get into sort of goals for the remainder of the year?
Yeah, so obviously I'm on a team up here at Louisville, and we're getting close to ACCs. I'm sure you guys are too. I think that's next week, right?
Yeah, we leave on Tuesday. So, was that 5 days, 4 days?
Yeah. And that's in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, at the reserve.
Yeah, that's cool. So what are your expectations and goals for the remainder of the year with ACCs coming up and hopefully regionals and nationals?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we can go out and we can play well at ACCs. Last year it kind of stung. We lost in the semifinals to Florida State. Just kind of left a little bit of a bitter taste in our mouth. So hopefully we can go out and, maybe come back with an ACC ring. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
And then, regionals. The goal of regionals isn't to win, although we always, of course, we want to try to win. But, our goal at regionals is to make nationals. And then hopefully we'll get a chance out at Greyhawk. And we have a team that I think when everyone kind of gets their best game going, we can compete with any team in the country. And, hopefully that can happen out at Greyhawk.
Yeah. I mean, you are ranked 4 right now.
Yeah.
No reason it can't happen.
That's what we're telling ourselves.
Yeah.
And I think that's what every team works for throughout the entire season. And, spring season can get a little long. It gets a little, you travel a lot, you miss a lot of school. But we work for like championship season. So hopefully no one will be too tired and we'll have our A game in about a month and a half.
Yeah. I mean, I think the stiffest competition we'll probably face came today. So I think you handled that pretty well. And,
Good warm up for Greyhawk.
Yeah. Jackson, did we play the reserve out in Myrtle last summer?
I don't think so.
Okay. Never mind.
That's okay.
I thought we had. All those courses do kind of run together, though.
Sometimes. The ones on
they're
the-
pretty similar.
All right, well, I think we wanted to transition a little bit into more individual golf for you, away from Wake. You've had some success in the Carolinas for sure. You've won the NCAM, the Carolinas AM, and then in 2020 you won the North-South AM, which is an event I played in last summer. I did not win, nor did I make match play. So, but what was that event like for you in 2020, winning in Pinehurst?
Yeah, so I think kind of when everything got shut down in 2020, there was kind of this moment of like no one knew when their next competitive event was going to be. So it was so nice. I think everyone was just a little more appreciative of being out in Pinehurst come July because no one had played competitive events, so we were all just like ready to get back out there. And Pinehurst is amazing. I love that golf course. Number 2 is incredible, and the field is always so good. It's such a hard cut to make, so anytime you can go out and make the cut at North and South, it's a good week. But North and South was so fun because, that golf course can get really intimidating sometimes. Number 2, as you get around there, you're super protective of the golf ball. And Mom had said to me, once you kind of make match play, you see it in like a completely different light. Like you can be like a little more aggressive and all this stuff. And she's completely right. It's changed my perspective on it. And I love that tournament. I'll go back every year just because it's so much fun and you get to see everyone. And it really is one of the best events in the country.
Yeah, she must have a lot of experience playing out there. I know.
Yeah.
Can you talk about this a little bit? We didn't get into it earlier. She played the U.S. Open 8 months pregnant with you at Pine Needles, right?
Yeah, so she's played, I can't even count however many USGA events, but her last and final, her 9th U.S. Open was 8.5 months pregnant with me. So she played Thursday, Friday. She missed the cut. Dad puts on the bag for her. And I was born not that Sunday, but the following Sunday.
Wow.
And it's like incredible seeing the pictures. Even now, she's like, I don't know how I played golf, but like her stomach was like so big that she was using it as like a table to write her scorecard.
Yeah.
Which is like incredible.
Funny.
But it's so funny. It's something that just, it keeps coming up. And it was actually at Pine Needles, which is where the U.S. Open is this year. So she's like, Rachel, you should try really hard to qualify. I'm like, as if I don't try hard anyways, Mom, thanks. So yeah, it's really cool. And I think it inspired a lot of people, which is cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, good luck with the U.S. Open. That would
Thank you.
That'd be awesome.
Hopefully I can qualify, and hopefully I'll be there.
Jackson, you're playing. Where's your U.S. Open qualifier?
It's in Lexington in May.
Okay.
Kentucky.
Not a Big Blue.
No, it's not.
Dang. Okay, I'm doing it at Duke. That'll not a great place to do it, but I just want to play well and see what I can do. Yeah, you obviously had a very big summer last summer. Starting off with the U.S. Am, where you were a stroke play medalist.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it was really cool. It was I loved the golf course, and it was really hilly. So it was one of those courses that like you had a lot of long irons in, and the greens were pretty firm. So you're just kind of like trying to manage. And my older brother was on the bag for me, and I always love when he caddies for me. He just keeps me loose, and we just have a really good time. So yeah, I went out and played 2 good days of stroke play and left with medalist honors, which is like super cool. And then I lost first round in match play to a friend of mine that actually plays at Kentucky.
Yeah.
Which was like a little disappointing, but she's like a good player, and there's tons to learn from all of that. So
yeah.
I'm excited to get to go again this summer.
Got some dogs running up to it. Yeah, do you like stroke play or match play more?
I love I actually really like both. I think there's art to both, but I think match play is super exciting. There's just something fun about being able to be aggressive with like not
for another podcast guest.
Sorry. There is something just fun about match play, about getting to be a little more aggressive, which I think is cool.
Yeah, it's not that weak, maybe.
Yeah, that's okay.
What did you kind of learn from that transition? Because obviously you were the medalist in probably the best field in women's amateur golf, and then you do lose in the first round. What was kind of the takeaways you had from that match play, if anything?
Yeah, match play it's sometimes a toss-up. It's very dependent on the draw you get. And I think kind of the nature of match play is that sometimes you can go out and you can shoot 4 over and you just play a little bit better and you still win your match. And then sometimes you can go out and shoot 4 under and you still get beat.
Make 3 birdies and lose 4.
You still get beat. That is match play. Yeah. And I think there is some luck involved in getting the right draw and kind of letting someone, or like running into someone that like when you play bad, they just play a little worse. But I think if anything, I took away from like knowing that I could compete with anyone in the country, and like I had done it before. I think that was something that I definitely would take away from this year's USAM.
Yeah. Was there any trash talk between you and Jensen about match play versus stroke play medalist or the outcome of that?
No, I think it's really funny. So we work with the same swing coach.
Yeah.
So our swing coach is so excited because he had the medalist and the champion, which is like so cool.
Perfect week for him.
It was a great week for him. But yeah, it definitely was. It was so cool seeing her play so well, and was just so excited for her. And it's been incredible.
Yeah. And about the trash talk, we talked about this when we were out there, and you said you enjoy it. So when does that come out for you? And when like in those tournaments, does that not happen?
No, I think there's an aspect of like seriousness to like competitive golf, I guess. Yeah. And that's kind of a line that I don't think you really cross unless you're like super, super close with the person. Yeah. I think the trash talk more comes out when it's like my teammates and I go out and play for fun, or like I'm out with my family. Like I think that's more of an appropriate time. Like while I do trash talk, I also do like know the time and place that I should and shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun.
Jackson, do you want to get into the Curtis Cup a little bit?
Yeah, so we discussed match play just now, and this is another form of match play, but in the team format. You played over in Wales last summer, and you guys were down for a while, but you eventually came back. What was kind of the experience of playing across the world like, and clinching it for the U.S.?
Yeah, Curtis Cup was incredible. I still remember getting that phone call and just like being so excited, but I wasn't really sure what to expect because just with COVID and traveling overseas, I wasn't sure how everything would play out. And there were actually a whole lot of people out there, both than GB and I supporters, but like it was just incredible to play alongside like girls and to represent my country. I still remember this moment during the opening ceremony where they were raising our flag and playing the national anthem, and I even now every time I hear the Star Spangled Banner, I get goosebumps, and I started tearing up. I never tear up. I'm not an emotional person, but it was just incredible. And we were way down after the first day, so to make the comeback we did after the second day, and then to kind of pull away with singles was just really cool. And I think is a testament to how hard and everyone's will to win. I think it was really cool.
I think I saw you tearing up after the first hole when I won.
Yeah, different kind of tears, but that's fine.
I know, to the shock of some people, I guess you've never been to the UK before that.
So my best friend's Irish and my boyfriend's English, and I had someone ask me if I'd spent time in the UK because I spoke like them, which really sucked for me. But that's okay. No, that was my first time. I had been to Ireland before. And then this is my second time back, but it was incredible. Wales I was told that it was gonna be cold, windy, and all there was sheep. There's Mark. We have an Irish kid on our guys team that told me, he's oh yeah, Wales is the land of the sheep. I got out there, it was nothing like that. It was beautiful. It was 65 and sunny with no wind every day, and Conway is in this beautiful part of the country, at the base of the mountains, overlooking the bay. It was incredible. I hope I get the chance to go back because it was completely breathtaking.
Yeah.
So this summer, the Curtis Cup's coming back to the U.S. Hopefully, a lot more U.S. sports in GBI, and it'll be at Marion. What are you looking forward to about that event?
Yeah, so actually, it just got announced that I made the team, so I'm super excited. But again, I think just anytime you get to represent your country it's so special. And so I think part of that, and also the historic side of Marion, I've heard nothing but amazing things about that golf course. So to get out and to go play there, it also falls over my birthday, which will be kind of fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's going to be a good week, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, congrats on making the team. That just came out 2 days ago.
Yeah,
now. Yeah,
just recently. So I'm excited. Thank you.
Yeah, we talked about the ANWA earlier. But with all those super competitive, super prestigious events, not to mention something like the Palmer Cup, which you've played in twice, is that correct? Mm-hmm. So what's been your favorite event to play in and your favorite memory in competitive golf?
Okay. I think my favorite memory, it's either Palmer Cup or Curtis Cup. I kind of put them in the same category.
Yeah.
I think Palmer Cup is really special because you get to play with the guys, and we never get to play with our guys, which is super cool. But I definitely think my favorite golf memory was Curtis Cup. I actually really enjoyed playing Amelia, who's a teammate of mine here at Wake Forest. She and I played foursomes together, and I think kind of that first walk down the first fairway of Curtis Cup was just absolutely incredible, and getting to share that with her, I think is just so special. And hoping that happens again this year. Yeah.
What was that final green on 18 too? Because you actually clinched it for the U.S. in singles, and you told me earlier you didn't realize it at the time. So what was that like? Yeah, it was really special because I didn't know, and I didn't have to putt my 8-footer. Luckily, I wasn't glad I didn't have to putt it, but it was given to me, and I picked it up and shook Louise's hand, thanked my caddy, shook the GB&I captain's hand, and kind of was making sure going through thinking our rules official and our score and all this stuff, and my teammates are kind of sat there, and they turn around, and they're we won. I'm what? And they're you clinched, we won. And it was this moment of oh my god, we actually came back from being so down after the first day, and just that moment. There's a picture of us celebrating on that green, which I just it's just so special. And knowing that Mom had done that and then doing it for myself is just really cool. Yeah.
I think I might be seeing why you and Jens get along so well, because she said when she won her final match at the U.S. Women's Am, she didn't know she clinched it either. So
it was cool. It was and playing four ball with Jensen is so fun because we've grown up playing U.S. kids together. Yeah. So it was just to see how far we've come from 7-year-olds teeing it up from 150 yards to playing in the Curtis Cup together on the biggest stage of amateur golf. It's just incredible. That's awesome. Yeah. Is there a lot of competition or competitiveness between you guys or your other friends? Because you're obviously play on the same big stages with a lot of your friends and a lot of the same people. Yeah, I wouldn't say as much competitiveness. We love to see each other succeed. Mm-hmm. I think don't get me wrong, you want to go out and you want to play well, but you also want your friends to play well, and you get excited. There's at no point is there any animosity when someone beats you. It's more of you're just happy for them. Yeah. And I think that's just that's how true friendship is supposed to be. Yeah. You go out and if you play well, but someone beats you, you're happy for them.
Yeah.
You know, ultimately, like, I don't know. It's just, I like to think that, like, a lot of college golf is, like, very supportive, which I think is very cool. And I'm excited to see how the college golfers now, when they turn pro and when kind of, like, my peers transition into, like, the LPGA, how, like, the LPGA environment will change because of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Where do you see that going even right now? Just like you mentioned, the crowds at the ANWA.
Yeah.
And even that tournament existing, like, that's not something you would have thought maybe 10 years ago. So
Yeah.
where do you see golf, and especially women's golf, going in the near future?
Yeah, I think what ANWA is doing for the game is incredible. I can't even tell you the amount of, like, little girls I saw out, like, watching, and the amount of girls that I spoke to that were like, oh my gosh, like, I don't play golf, but I'm going to start. Like, I think that's so cool. 40,000 people out watching a women's amateur event is, like, unheard of and, like, unbelievable. So I think that is, like, I think the game is growing. But I also think, I mentioned kind of the LPGA culture from some of the people that I've talked to. It sounds very hyper competitive. And I think part of that is because, like, you're not playing for nearly as much money as the guys are.
Yeah.
So it's a little more cutthroat, as, like, you know, because, like, if someone beats you, they're taking away, like, money that you could have earned.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm really excited because I think, like, the people that I've grown up playing junior and college golf with, like, they're very supportive of each other.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see, like, when we hopefully get to the LPGA, like, I'd like to think that we're still going to support each other.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can change kind of, you know, at least from what I've heard, the vibe of the LPGA right now.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. I mean, you've told me, you know, in the car and on the course, some stories about that with people that we've been in contact with, or we know, like Gina Kim and Lucy Lee. And it's just really cool to hear that, like, despite, you know, being some of your main competition back when, you know, Gina was in college, for example, like, you are such good friends and super supportive.
Yeah.
Jackson, do you want to hop into life off the course a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. Just wrapping it up here, getting to the end. What is kind of like, we've talked a lot of golf today, but what is some of the things you like to do off the course that you enjoy doing?
Yeah, I think a lot of my time gets taken up by schoolwork. We joke that Wake Forest is actually called Work Forest because there's a lot of schoolwork involved. But when I'm not doing either of those, like, I really enjoy playing tennis or, like, just hanging out with friends. Like, I think, like, my friends are some of my main support system. So being able to, like, spend time with them really helps me decompress. But yeah, I like just anything active. I like to run. I pick up running, especially through the summers a lot when I have more time, long distance and stuff like that.
Yeah. You told me earlier you actually don't watch a ton of golf.
No, I don't watch a ton. I watch the majors, and, like, if I have time, I'll turn it on or whatever. But I think I'd just rather be out practicing than watching it. So
Yeah. Yeah. Again, if you have this facility,
that's true. You have no excuse not to be out here.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about tennis a decent amount. What, you know, you just said you still play it. So what is tennis what does that look like in your life? Like, do you still, you know, what did the competitiveness look like in high school, and how does it look now?
Yeah, I think tennis kind of through high school served more of a role as, like, helping me, like, escape from golf almost. So, because it was always, like, I'd come off a super busy summer schedule, and then it was always a fall sport. So I'd go and, like, I'd put the golf clubs up, I'd play tennis. And I think now even it's just like a relaxer. Like,
yeah.
It's just something that gets me active, gets me outside, like, enjoying myself, and, like, still competitive, but, like, it's not golf, which I think is great. I think everyone has to have some kind of outlet. You know, it doesn't matter what it is, but, like, you have to have something that isn't golf.
Yeah.
Because you'll drive yourself crazy if all you think about 24/7 is golf.
Yeah. Jackson, what is that for you? I know you like to exercise and work out quite a bit.
Yeah, it's definitely the gym for me. We have team workouts twice a week, but I really love to lift, and I have a buddy here that is not an athlete. We lift a good bit together, so just kind of getting away from golf. And I'm always thinking about golf, but getting to work out a good bit is my outlet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. For me, I'm not on a team in college, so I feel like, I don't know, not the same way. Like, any free minute I get, I am on a golf course. Yeah. But yeah. Finally, double part questions. Jackson, do you want to get these going?
Yeah. So our first question, we ask this to every guest now. You're now our third guest, so we're getting some traction here. But what is your dream foursome?
Do they have to be alive, or can it be, like, historical?
No, anybody.
Alive or dead.
And we also say this to everybody. We can be part of it.
You can be part of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, Annika Sorenstam.
Oh,
Like, three greats.
I feel like you've thought about that before. You were pretty quick with that.
was very quick.
I've had the question asked before, and I feel like it changes slightly every time. But like those are kind of the ones that like they keep coming up. So like
Yeah.
I'm confident in my answer.
Palmer, I mean, obviously he's a huge deal everywhere, but at
Yes,
Wake,
at
like
Wake in
practice
particular,
facilities named after him, statue, umbrellas,
Umbrellas
whatever.
above us,
Yeah.
No, it's very cool, and the influences that he's had at Wake and just on golf in general is incredible.
Yeah. All right, next question. We talked about this a little bit, but your mom is quite the golfer herself. 5-time winner at Wake and recent member of the Hall of Fame here, which is pretty cool. When is the first time that you beat her?
I was probably maybe 12 or 13. We were playing down. So I'm a Dominican citizen as well. So we were down in the Dominican Republic, and so we played the first day, and I had a putt, like a 4-footer on the last hole to shoot 79 for my first time ever breaking 80 and to beat my mom. Missed it. The next day, had the same thing, about a 3.5-footer to break 80 and to beat my mom for the first time. Didn't touch the hole.
Oh.
And then finally the third day I had about a 5 or 6-footer to do I think I shot 78 and to beat her, and I finally made that one. So I remember that moment. She was like all teary-eyed and stuff like this. I was like, Mom, I just beat you. Are you that upset that I beat you? She's like, no. It's funny.
You know, she took that seriously. She got all...
No, she was just
I'm
happy for me and proud of me. But my parents never let us win growing up at anything. So I knew when I beat her for the first time, I actually beat her, which was really cool.
All right, I'm more of a fun one here, but I would assume most of the viewers won't know this one, but you're actually allergic to sunscreen. So what is summer golf like for you, and how do you not get sunburned?
A lot of aloe after rounds. I'm allergic. I've actually found I can use like baby sunscreen. So like when we got to Arizona, I'll put like baby sunscreen on my arms and have to apply it 20 times. But summer golf isn't fun. I can't wear like sleeveless or anything because I'll just like fried. So
how'd you find that out? Was it just like one awful day that?
Yeah, I would always put it down, and I'd always get these like rashes and hives afterwards, and I like, finally started to connect the dots. Tough.
All right, next one here. We asked this to everybody also for whatever college they went to or go to. You get one night out or a round of golf with a Wake Sports alum. Who are you going out with, and where in Winston-Salem are you going?
Oh, like when you say out, as in like downtown or like
downtown, bar, dinner, round of golf, whatever.
Again, can it be Arnold Palmer, or is it like someone that's like alive?
No, it can't be.
Okay, I have two. I can't.
Okay.
Either Arnold Palmer and we go play golf.
Where?
Old Town.
Okay.
Definitely. Or Chris Paul, and we would go out to, there's a bar called LR that we go to on Thursday nights. I would love to go to LR.
I like that. Are you a big basketball NBA fan?
I'm a Wake basketball fan. I'm not like an NBA fan, but like I avidly follow more college.
Did you think you guys got snubbed from the tournament? Or?
I don't want to talk about it. It makes me really upset. We're not going to talk about it.
Okay.
We played so good all season, and then came ACCs. We were like,
either you or Virginia Tech were going to get in, and then they.
You couldn't have made the argument that they shouldn't have gotten in after the tournament. Anyways, we're not going to talk about it because I'll get really upset. My cheeks are already getting red because I'm frustrated with it, but it's fine.
We touched on it earlier, but your mom did play 8 months pregnant with you at the US Open at Pine Needles. The question was initially, what has she told you about that event? But we also heard that she may or may not have felt a contraction during that event. Is that true?
Probably.
Might have to ask her for that one.
Yeah, I don't know exactly, but I hear obviously a lot about it and get to see pictures and stuff. But yeah, she tells the story of like going up and down the hills because my dad was on the bag, and she would just like grab onto the back of him and let him pull her up the hills and stuff. So it's just kind of funny.
Yeah. It was destiny since a very, very early age.
I'd like to say I've already played in the U.S. Open, but I don't know if it quite works out. I was there. Yeah. I was there technically.
You didn't make the cut, though.
Did not make the cut.
All right, next question. You're dating Alex Fitzpatrick, who's right over there. Matt Fitzpatrick's younger brother.
Yeah.
So have you ever played with Matt? And if so, what's that relationship and what is the series between you guys?
I have not played with Matt. I've met him.
Okay.
Play with Alex a lot, but it's funny. Alex he's such a good influence on like me and my golf game. Like he pushes me to work harder, and like he brings the best out of me for sure. He's definitely the better half of the relationship. Can't ever let him hear me say that. Yeah. But no, he's incredible, and I just he's just such a good guy, and obviously a great golfer. So I'm excited to see where golf takes him. And how things go out.
Yeah.
Has he? have you talked to Matt at all? Anything about his game and tried to pick his brain a little bit, or have you not done that yet?
I have. I've asked a little bit about his practice routine. I'm always looking for like new drills and like new ways to practice, and obviously he's like top 20 in the world.
Yeah.
So any help and any tips I can get is good. But I think obviously him and Alex too. They're both like incredible players. The fact that they're brothers is just really cool. But I feel lucky to have someone that can help me, both in him and in Alex.
Yeah. I know he's played in quite a few Masters. He's playing decent there right now. Played with Brooks and Rory yesterday, but maybe he could use some advice from you about Augusta.
It's funny. After the round on Saturday, or I guess it was a Friday leading up to there was someone asked me if like I had gotten any, or if I had any advice for the Masters players, like what it would be.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, the roles need to be flipped there. Like I'm the one that needs to be getting the advice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. He shot one under yesterday, but it's really cool watching the Masters.
Yeah.
Having just played there, I can't. Yeah.
You have him in the wake pool, so
I do.
Need a big day out of him
I
today.
didn't really have a choice. I kind of had to pick that one, but hopefully he'll go out and shoot a couple under and put himself in contention.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you implemented any of those drills that he gave you?
Yeah, I have. And, Alex is very good about drills too. I'm a drill person. I like to practice. So anytime Alex gets in a drill, he's like, "All right, Rachel, like this is what I got. Like, let's do it." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah. No, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of the opposite of Jensen, but I'm the same way. I try to spend 90% of my time on the range. My thought is like, we said this earlier. You can hit 36 full swings in a 4-hour round of golf and 36 full swings in, 30 minutes on the range.
Completely. I'm a practice person too. I find that I prepare best when I'm like grinding on the range or on the putting green or something.
Yeah.
For sure.
But when you have Old Town to go to, course is insane.
That's true.
Yeah, final question. You've accomplished, seemingly just about everything there is to you in, junior and now amateur golf in college. So where do you see, I know you said you plan to come for a 5th year, but where do you see your golfing career taking you and life after college? What do you see that looking like?
So I think the plan for now, this could very well change, but is to try to turn pro, at least for a couple of years, not long term, but more just like, I've worked so hard to like get to the point that I am, that like I want to see how far I can go with golf. I don't want to leave like any stone unturned in that point of like, I don't want to leave these what ifs, like what if I had tried or all this stuff. But yeah, I'm kind of enjoying the ride, enjoying the people I get to meet and the places I get to go. And yeah, I've learned to love practicing and love competing, and it's just such a big part of my life that I'd have a hard time just like putting the club down after college.
Yeah. What's sort of the downside of like not turning pro, or like why do you say maybe just a couple of years?
I just think it's just a hard lifestyle. You don't really get to settle down. You're traveling all the time, and I just think that like it's just not like a very conducive environment to like stability.
Yeah.
So I think there is something to be said for knowing when to walk away from it, and that doesn't mean that I'm going to quit golf. But like, maybe just going back to just amateur golf or something, getting my amateur status back, and maybe playing mid-am and USAM, stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully.
That's everything we got. Thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah,
that was
thank
awesome.
y'all for having me. This is so fun.
Yeah, loved hearing everything you had to say. Jackson, what did you like talking about?
And I think it's really cool. I mean, just hearing things like your mom playing 8 months pregnant with you, that's bananas. And the fact that the U.S. Women's Am is coming back to Pine Needles this summer, it'd be pretty cool if you get to play in that. But we really do appreciate it. I wish I could have been there, but I think you understand the college golf.
It's crazy. It's hectic.
No, I mean, I agree with that. Like, watch you play. I had the opportunity to watch you play on TV last week and, follow your game and everything, but like, talking about everything off the course and playing with you and seeing what it's like for you when you play. Like you said, you like to have directions, and I definitely got that. You were telling me hit it in this exact spot, and it definitely helped.
Yeah, I'm a follow directions kind of person.
Yeah, my high fade.
Your beautiful high fade.
You hear that?
That's beautiful. That's a bold statement there, but
beautiful. When we were up in Kentucky, it wasn't beautiful.
Okay, it was fine today. I'm telling you, you were flag seeking all day.
Yeah, hear that?
I'll believe it when I see it.
We're gonna go and play with Jack Heath down just south of Nashville, and within the next couple of weeks, so he'll see it then.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming on.
No, thank you guys.